Hello, my name is Faith, and this is Lori. We are side A. We are arguing about participation awards, and we're for them. We're for having um, awards that can help motivate kids to be a part of an activity, be active, and thrive when some kids are just too shy.
We are side B. I am Mariah.
And I'm Taylor.
And we are against participation trophies for the ages 8 through 12 or however long that is to 6th grade. Because it doesn't, granted, it lets kids have the motivation to show up, but it doesn't give them their willingness to work to put in more effort to improve on themselves.
So, with factual evidence, we had to do some research on why we agree with participation awards. And I think participation awards help boost confidence that maybe if you lost in this activity that you should still try and be proud that you were in it. There's always has to be a winner, there's always has to be a loser. And being a part of something at such a young age helps grow who you are, helps be more part and active when you're in college or in life in general. And there's pros and cons to everything, but I found this on a website with the .org, so I think it's very educational. And I think that with participation awards, it gives you individual thrive, and you need to be proud in yourself. You need to know you need to be positive that you can do stuff, or if you can't, how are you going to get anywhere in life? And participation awards, especially at a young age, will put an impact on you, will help you learn that even if you fail, you still did something and you still are working to be better in that. And I found that on a blog as well.
My reason is it gives young athletes something to play for. Mom stated in a 2015 article on teamsnap.com, for young athletes, it's easy to lose interest in a sport if they're not winning, which is why many leagues don't even keep score on the youngest levels. Just because you aren't the best doesn't mean you don't deserve recognition. My another reason is it raises little kids' self-esteem. And coaches stated in a 2015 article on characterandleadership.com, it makes the kid feel good about being on a team, competing, and having fun. They don't feel left out or less than their peers who won the league. It makes every kid feel special. It reinforces the notion that sports is fun and increases the odds that a child will want to return to play other sports and get another trophy. Do you have any counter arguments for us?
Yes, like when the kids are getting to be like 8 to 10 years old, most of them should know better by now, that you don't just get an award just to show up and do what's expected. Granted, when they're younger than 8 years old, that's understandable, but when they're still doing participation trophies in grades like 2nd through 6th grade, it's probably about time to stop in those grade years because the children are old enough to know that they need to work and put in more effort to get the award rather than just showing up and expecting to get one.
I mean, it depends on the person for one, and depends on what you're doing. But I know for a fact that when I was offered participation awards when I was getting to be 10 or 11, you can decline them. You can say no. You can give them to the younger kids. You can say no. But and that you still realize, and there's still that positivity and activity that you're doing something and you're doing something healthy. You're doing something that you should be doing. I don't think you should get a participation award for eating food, but I think you should be getting a participation award for participating with a team, having team effort, because I know some kids really struggle with that. I think you should have a at that age, your age is still growing. Your mind is still growing, and you're still at that kid age. We're still at that kid age because our brains are not fully developed yet. So we still are learning, and some of us still even struggle today to be in a team and work and have a team effort. So I think with participation awards, it's just kind of a positive reinforcement.
Do you feel as if all kids are working to their full potential and everything?
No,
These
I don't.
awards being given?
I don't think so. I think some kids definitely take the medal over the actual activity. But overall, I think a lot of kids really do enjoy having that. Like, a lot of kids don't even go into this activity knowing that there are participation awards after. But with that being said, yeah, I do think kids definitely use that to their benefit as well.
How do you think we could fix that by making all kids work harder if they're going to get awards?
I mean, it depends on what you're doing.
I would say like if I was a coach in like a little league or whatever, like basketball or something, I would make sure all the kids get time to play. So that they know, okay, now I have to play, I have to do this, I have to work hard for it. So then they all know, okay, I'm playing, so let's get this going.
They're not just sitting on the bench.
Yep.
But like, what kind of age group consideration would you think be appropriate, and what age groups do you think maybe they're a little too old to be receiving
I think
participation?
past elementary school, kids should be realizing that they should be a part of activities on their own and should know what they want and want to do. But with that being said, younger kids, 1 to 10, I think, still need to learn that you need to be active, you need to be a part of a team, you can't just be independent. And I mean, that's a very good thing to have is being independent, but you also need that team effort as well.
So we have for ours, New York Times states like showing up and doing what is expected should not result in an award. So every time a kid shows up, most of them get rewarded with a prize when they just sat there and did nothing and expected that. And we aren't seeing effort. The kids aren't giving effort as they should be with everything. And then when they grow up, there's no effort given in the adult world, like in working in teams.
Because what they learn as a kid, they use as an adult as well, because that imprint is put on them so young that, hey, I show up, I get a trophy, cool deal. But then you also start to realize that when we start giving out these participation awards, you get these teenagers that don't think they have to work for anything anymore. Granted, like, the farm kids most of us anyway, were raised that you work, you do your chores, and then you get to go have fun. But the kids in town that go to these games and stuff and they get participation awards just for being there, most of them think, oh, hey, I showed up, I should get an award, and then I'm gonna go home and, not really go out and do anything else too much. Or they think like they just show up at work for 5 minutes, they think they should get $100 paycheck for being there for 5 minutes.
With no effort given.
Exactly.
And we have found that even not giving the trophy, it still encourages kids to work harder. Because they want the prize in the end, like teams. Like when we were in the basketball, you would work, and the top team would only get, state, you'd only get the top team with prize. So
It gives them that motivation to say, okay, if I want to really do good and get that award, I need to really improve myself and work hard on my project, like 4-H for example, to get that blue ribbon. I need to learn the most about my project so that way I can present it well in order to get that blue ribbon to go to state.
Done? Yep.
I think, yes, we should always strive to do the best that we can, but we definitely have to teach these kids that there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. And a lot of times with the kids that are being raised now, if you're a loser, you shouldn't do it anymore. What does that teach our kids? That teaches that to give up and to not do anything. Also, I don't think we should be splitting farm kids and city kids' work ethics apart from each other. I think farm kids, yes, they work, they have to do chores at 4 o'clock in the morning, but city kids have to do the complete opposite. They have to go to work and sit at a desk. They have to thrive in just a separate, different way. So I don't think we can separate those lifestyles.
I was just using those as two
I know,
examples.
but I'm just
That's
saying.
the best way I knew how
Yeah.
to exemplify that. I wasn't meaning anything by it. Wasn't meaning to put anybody
No,
down. I'm
I
just
know.
using that as an example.
I know, but
to get my point across.
I'm just saying, like, even with farm kids and city kids, we all are the kids, and we all are still, our minds are still growing. We're still learning as now, and we're freshmen in college. Like, whether you are a winner or a loser or in the middle, you get an A or a B in education, there's always just going to be a loser, and there's always just going to be a winner. And to the losers and the winners, I think there should be some kind of motivation to keep going. Even if you do win, you should get something, yes, to keep trying to be the best person you can be and to try to do the best you can do.
Well, my question to you is, what did you guys say your age group is for not getting the participation award?
For not getting it.
Yeah.
So like starting like 8 years old and up, they should not be getting participation trophies anymore. Because by that time, like they should be developed enough and they need to start learning that not every time you show up are you going to get something. You may have to do a little more before you can get that ribbon or that trophy or that award of any kind, whatever it is. Because if they don't start learning at a reasonable young age that, okay, well, if I show up doesn't mean that I'm going to get this award or whatever. But they need to, put a little bit more effort, put a little more time in there to receive an award, and that not the little small increment of effort that they were doing before maybe is gonna get them that award this time. Granted, now your preschool through your like first or second grade years, like you're young enough, just showing up and trying stuff and getting out there and stuff. Sure, you can have a participation trophy, but when you get to be 8 years old, a lot of these 8-year-old kids know way more than I did when I was 8 years old. So, I mean, they should be mindful enough to accept the fact that they're not going to get an award when they show up every time, that they should try a little harder to get that award and attain it, and then make them feel better about themselves because, hey, I worked hard and I got this. That makes kids feel proud as well.
But I also think you get awards for certain things. Like at home, I know for a fact that I wouldn't be getting an award for cleaning my room. But at school, if I went and when I was 8, 9, I know I was super shy. I didn't want to get in front of a choir and sing. Like, and I got a participation little stamp thing, and I thought that was awesome. I thought, well, a lot of kids don't like doing this, so let's just keep trying and being the best that you can be. But you don't get an award for everything that you do. You don't. No, you have. There's certain activities. So that's when I think kids realize what you should be thriving to do, what you should be trying to do, and try to find your downfalls and do better in it. And I think when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, that's when you're figuring out what you can do, what you're good at, and what you need to work better on.
All I know is that nowadays coaches have favorites. And everybody on the team works hard at practices. Then when that game comes, only the favorites play. The good ones, the better ones, where everyone at practice works their hardest. How would you give those people that sit on the bench the whole game and that those people are thinking, oh my gosh, I want to quit. This is ridiculous. I don't get play time. I go to all the practices and I don't even get recognized. I don't get nothing for this. What do you prefer? What do you want? What do you say to them in order for them not to quit and to keep going?
Well, it's like a lot of depends what age group are you talking about. Are you talking about high school or are you talking about
I mean,
Well,
10-year-olds.
Yeah, 10-year-olds, because I see that all the time too. Like,
Favorites
yeah,
are a big thing with coaches.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's when we need to start talking to coaches, making sure there's not favorites out there.
like I think it's actually a rule in the games now that every kid has to play in the game now. So
That's a rule? I don't know that.
well, at least in Nebraska, I'm pretty sure it is that each kid needs to get a
I
certain
do
amount of
see
game
that
time.
everybody plays only to an extent. They never
Yeah.
play as long as the good kids do.
Yeah.
They only play for a certain
I
amount
mean,
of time.
when I was playing basketball, I remember my sister and I were completely different. She would always sit on the bench, and I was always playing. And that's just favoritism. But my sister still played because she had fun in practices, and she got recognized during the banquets and stuff. She got recognized for and got an award for being in a team and participating. Because without a team, without as many players as you need, you don't have a team. So these girls that are bench warmers, so call it, are good. If without them there wouldn't be a team, and I'm sure that a little part of them are happy that they get a participation award and recognized during a banquet.
Like competing in 4-H, I started when I was about 8 or so. No participation awards were given out. And I come in there and like not really been too much part of a team thing. I was being trained individually by somebody, just with my everyday ranch horses and stuff. And I've been riding for ever since I can remember. But I went in there thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this whole thing. I'm gonna come home with a ribbon in every event. And I'm gonna be great. I showed up and I was competing with a bunch of other kids my age, and went in and did our thing and stuff in our competition, and I ended up losing more often than I had anticipated, which was like probably 5 out of my 7 competitions. So I was really bummed about it, but I was like, you know what? That's okay, because I'm going to come back better and practice up more and have that more of that relationship with being out there with the kids my age competing to learn that, okay, you don't always get what you think you're going to get, but you come back, you train harder, you work harder, you come back, and who knows, you're going to do a lot better. And then working with that team is was beneficial enough for me anyway, just to be able to talk to those teammates, and like the teammates help build you up and give you advice on like what to be better, like how to improve yourself. Where like so like that should have been award enough just to be with your teammates, because your teammates boost you, and that's how teamwork is supposed to work. You're supposed to boost each other and not rely on a participation award to make yourself feel better. You want your whole team to come together as a group to embrace everybody in the team and make them feel a part of things.
In our conclusion, we believe that participation trophies should still be produced and handed out to our kids to motivate our kids to play their best at sports.
Side B, conclusion. Children should have to work hard for what they want. So in the future, as adults, they are giving 100% on all jobs, not slacking off and working hard, making sure that they're getting the job done with, because you're not going to get rewarded as an adult for everything.